I've been warning people for a long time about these relationships with these boyfriends. You have to be very, very careful vetting these men, whether you're having children by them or whether you're bringing your children around them, okay? But this story is probably going to be another tragic classic example of stuff I've been talking about on my channel for about 4 years now. But let me give you guys a disclaimer before we dive into the details of the story, okay? Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. All right. South LA, South Los Angeles, and I'm getting this story from abc7.com, so thank you for the article. But a South Los Angeles man has been arrested in the fatal beating and stabbing of his girlfriend in front of their children in their home. So these children have been highly traumatized. Let's get to the details. Police announced the arrest of Richard Lara. Let me get his face back up here. This dumbass that you guys see right here on my screen, Richard Lara, who fled after allegedly beating and stabbing Nicole Santillenas. I know I pronounced her name right. I'm so sorry about that. I know that's not right. Nicole, his girlfriend Nicole, was 38 years old. He was allegedly beating and stabbing her. Lara is the father of 2 of her 4 children, and the 2 were in an on and off relationship for about 13 years. We're going to talk about some domestic violence also. Let's skip this part because they talk about she was the life of the party. I hate when people describe somebody's life legacy and they say, oh, she was the life of the party. I don't want to, I personally don't want to be remembered that way. I want to be remembered for something more than that. She called my daughter. She was screaming hysterically, recalled Ashley Gurick, I guess. My daughter thought she was joking around saying, Mom, it's just Stevie. I was like, no, something's wrong with her. What's wrong with her? I was like, Stevie, what's going on? And she was like, he killed her. He killed my mom. Ashley Gurick is now taking care of 7 children, including her own and now her sister's children. Police say that the attack happened Saturday night after Lara and Santinellas left their apartment together and walked to a neighborhood store. They returned home separately. Then a fight broke out between them, which turned physical and led to Santinella's death. Lara, who's 38 years old, fled the scene after the attack, according to police. Detectives say that he was located and arrested Tuesday and booked for murder. The case will be presented for filing to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office on Thursday. Now, there was a GoFundMe that had been started, which I did not see that until now. So let me see if I can get you guys this GoFundMe up on the screen. I did not know that this was here. Give me a second. Let's take a look at this GoFundMe together. More times than none, people are just flat out avoiding having life insurance. Flat out. This woman was, does it say her age? 38 years old. Asking for a $20,000 GoFundMe sounds like she probably did not have life insurance. So this was started by Kimberly Suarez, who's the organizer. Talk about she leaves behind 4 beautiful children, ages 20, 13, 8, and 7. 20 years old is grown, so 1 adult that she gave birth to and 3 children technically. It doesn't say, or does it say what they're donating for? Okay, it doesn't say what they're donating towards. I think if you're asking for $20,000, as you guys can see right here, I think you should specify what that's for. Is it for the surviving children? Is it to bury the mom? Does she not have life insurance? I think all of that stuff is important to know. But that's if you guys want to take a look at it, or even if you want to donate, it is there if you guys want to do that. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And I really hope nobody gets mad about what I'm saying, because my core message is that I think everybody needs to have life insurance, because death is inevitable. It'll happen to all of us. And I think that we should prepare properly so that our family circle can take care of those expenses, because it's going to happen to all of us. Don't wait and just count on a GoFundMe to happen, because guess what? For the people whose story gets seen in the news, they might get their GoFundMe funded. What about all of the dozens and maybe even hundreds of thousands that nobody ever sees or hears about, because we're flooding this GoFundMe system and just those stories don't get heard and nobody gets anything because they didn't plan or prepare? That's all I'm saying. I hope nobody gets mad about what I'm saying, especially on the family side.
A mother's tragic death. Her boyfriend suspected of stabbing and killing the woman in front of her young children. Police still searching for the killer. Eyewitness News reporter Jaysha Patel spoke with loved ones who say the mother was a victim of domestic violence for years.
Family and friends look through pictures of Nicole Santillanes, pointing out her big smile and her huge collection of photos.
She was like the life of the party. Like, everybody loved her. She was very outgoing. She was always like, you know, she was very independent.
Santillanes was a mother of 4, a sister and a best friend. Her family and friends are grieving with an unimaginable loss. It's been 3 days since they say Santillanes was beaten and stabbed to death by her boyfriend in front of 3 of her children. They say her boyfriend left after killing her. Jurich found out about her sister's death from Santillanes' 13-year-old daughter.
She was like screaming like hysterically, you know, and my daughter thought she was joking around. She's like, "Mom, it's just Stevie." Like, and then I was like, "No, something's wrong with her. Like, what is wrong with her?" I was like, "Stevie, what's going on?" Like, and she was just like, "He killed her. Like, he killed my mom."
She's now taking care of 7 children, her and her sisters. LAPD confirms Santillanes' boyfriend, Richard Lara, is the suspect, and they've been working to find him. Friends and family say Santillanes and Lara were in a toxic relationship on and off for years that involved domestic violence. He's the father of 2 of Santillanes' children.
Let's hear that again.
On and off for years that involved domestic violence. Friends and family say Santillanes and Lara were in a toxic relationship on and off for years that involved domestic violence.
So how many opportunities did she have to not only not create children with this man, with this domestic violence that he was perpetrating against her, but how many opportunities did she have to leave this man, if you're talking about on and off? If love makes you stupid, then I don't ever want to be in love, because I don't ever want to be stupid and neglecting my health and neglecting my children. That should be your number one priority. Your happiness, your sexuality, or whatever it is that you want this man for should come last behind your children. That's the message that I've been preaching here for years, and that's the message I keep hoping that somebody will share this video, somebody will hear it, see it, and understand what I'm trying to say. Somebody needed to hear this message, and every day I'm presenting stories like, damn, I wish she could have heard my message. Damn, I wish they could have heard my message. Damn, I wish they could have heard my message. Every day, and that's why the AFC exists. Babies' lives matter, and we have to start putting our children first and stop being so selfish about our own personal desires. Once we become parents, that should be our number one priority.
He's the father of 2 of Santillanes' children.
it was easy to see the good and see the like, oh well, at least like, you know, they have good times. There's pictures that show that they have good times, or they go out with the kids, and so nobody really like kind of thought that it would ever lead up to this.
Santillana's oldest son says he's now focusing on making his mom proud.
I'm gonna follow her path, you know what I mean? She wanted to be an LVN, a pharmaceutical tech, you know what I mean? So I'll just go to school for something, you know, follow her footsteps.
The family says they have a GoFundMe online to raise money for the funeral expenses. They plan to hold a vigil Tuesday.
Okay, so there it is. So they told the news that they plan to raise the money for funeral expenses. Man, look, even to the son, I know some of them are not going to get what I'm saying. So I'm really sorry if I hurt you guys' feelings. I'm sorry. But my podcast is here and I have to be honest. $20,000 for a woman who was aged 38 years old who had zero life insurance. That's a bit high just for just for funeral expenses and no life insurance. Am I right or wrong for saying that? Maybe you feel like my moral compass might be a little off. Maybe I'm a little bit insensitive. Maybe I'm looking at this too logically. But that is quite a bit of money to ask for simply burial expenses. I'm pretty sure it doesn't cost $20,000, but one would have to also wonder. If we want to have an extravagant funeral to give her a great send out, and I'm sure she was a great loving mom, then why can't we do that when people are living? Like, why can't we celebrate people while they're here? Why can't we value people while they're here? Why do we wait till they're dead and be like, let's give them the best funeral ever that they'll never get to see? Put all that money into the ground. If anything, that $20,000 should maybe be in a trust fund, a college fund. The one boy talking about going back to school at 20 years old. So maybe that could even pay for his schooling. I mean, he'd be able to directly benefit from that right now. That's all I'm saying. I think there's a more efficient way to be able to have a funeral and to utilize those funds.
Evening in honor of Santillanes.
The family says they're now trying to get mental health resources and counseling for the children. The money raised from the GoFundMe will go towards that and funeral expenses.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content.
But again, in my closing thoughts, please, to the people out there, and everybody says that, well, you know, we didn't know that she was going to die this way. We all are going to die in some shape, form, or fashion. Let's look into life insurance. I've had a ton of people that will leave me emails in the comment section. They'll say, Jay, you know what? I thought about it and I ended up getting life insurance on myself and my kids because of your show. And I'm thankful that my message means that much to people, that they're listening and following up on that. Look into it, please. Okay. But there's no reason to be almost middle age and not have any plan for how we're going to exit this living world. Okay. But thank you guys so much for listening to this story. Please make sure you share her story and let's get justice against that man who killed this woman and shouldn't have done that. Okay. Thank you guys.